Muhammad Ali Jinnah is usually introduced to us as a barrister, a constitutionalist, a figure who steps onto the public stage already formed. But that picture misses something essential. The deeper shaping of his character happened much earlier, long before courtrooms and politics, in the streets of Karachi and the landscapes of Kathiawar. Jinnah's family came from the Kathiawar peninsula of Gujarat, in the princely state of Gondal. His father, Jinnah Bhai Punja, was born around 1850 into a modest family of weavers in the village of Paneli. He was ambitious, practical, and unwilling to accept the limits of village life. After marrying Mitti Bhai within their Ismaili Khoja community, he made a decisive choice. In the early 1870s, the couple moved to Karachi. At the time, Karachi was being reshaped by empire and trade. The opening of the Suez Canal had turned it into a rising port, linking India to global markets. It was still a small city, but full of movement, traders, caravans, ships, and possibility. In a rented apartment in Karadar, their first child was born. Muhammad Ali Jinnah entered the world on 25th December 1876. He was frail and underweight, delivered at home by a midwife, and his condition worried his parents deeply. A doctor offered reassurance, but Mitti Bhai remained anxious. She named her son Muhammad Ali, Jinnah Bhai affectionately calling him Muhammad. As the eldest child, he held a special place in the household, especially for his mother, who would always regard him as her favorite. Convinced that her son was meant for something greater, Mitti Bhai insisted on a Thanksgiving pilgrimage back to Kathiawar. The infant was carried to the Sufi shrine of Hassan Pir at Ganod. There, his head was shaved in a traditional rite and prayers were offered for his future. It was an act shaped by faith, instinct, and maternal hope, wrapping the child's earliest life in a sense of purpose. Jinnah grew up in the dense commercial world of Karadar. The home was multilingual and outward-looking. Gujarati was spoken within the family, while Sindhi and Kutchi were picked up from daily life around them. Hindustani and English came later, reflecting how deeply the family was embedded in Karachi's trading networks. Jinnah Bhai himself had little formal education, but he taught himself enough English to correspond with foreign firms. His business expanded quickly, and he even extended credit in a city where banks were scarce. Prosperity followed. Horses, carriages, and growing social visibility marked the family's rise. From an early age, Muhammad Ali watched discipline, calculation, and ambition at work. But he also learned resistance. A private tutor was hired, yet he disliked arithmetic and often slipped away from lessons to play cricket or ride horses. It wasn't that he rejected learning. He rejected being forced. Family memories describe him as strong-willed, self-directed, and unafraid of authority. His father tried to impose order by gathering the children in the evenings, making them recite English phrases together. Muhammad Ali, though, was often somewhere else in his own mind. In 1887, he entered formal schooling at Sindh Madrasatul Islam. School records list his birth dates as October 20th, 1875, a discrepancy that later confused public accounts. At the time, exact records were uncommon, and dates were often remembered loosely. At school, Jinnah showed intelligence but little patience. He skipped classes, choosing horseback rides along the city's outskirts instead. Eventually, the absences became too frequent and he was withdrawn. Hoping stricter discipline would help, his parents enrolled him briefly at the Christian mission school. It made little difference. He left after a few months, later joking that its only lasting impact was making Christmas Day personally memorable. A turning point came with the arrival of his paternal aunt, Manbai, from Bombay. She persuaded the family to let him travel with her. Bombay was something else entirely, imperial in scale, rich with institutions, architecture, and opportunity. Living with his aunt, Jinnah attended the Anjuman-e-Islam school and applied himself more seriously. But it was the city itself that left the deeper mark. Its cosmopolitan energy expanded his imagination and planted a lasting attraction to metropolitan life. Still, the separation proved too painful for his mother. After 6 months, she insisted on his return. Back in Karachi, Jinnah rejoined Sindh Madrasatul Islam. Older now, he remained unconventional. He read selectively, preferred poetry and adventure, dressed carefully, and carried himself with quiet confidence. Authority neither frightened him nor inspired him. Then opportunity arrived from an unexpected direction. Through his father's close ties with a major British trading firm, the firm's general manager, Sir Frederick Lee Croft, noticed the teenager. He offered Jinnah an apprenticeship in London, an extraordinary prospect for an Indian youth. Jinnah Bhai immediately supported the plan, seeing it as a gateway to global advancement, and set aside funds for his son's stay abroad. For Mitti Bhai, the offer was terrifying. London felt impossibly distant and morally dangerous for an unmarried boy. After deep emotional resistance, she agreed on one condition: her son must marry before leaving. And so, a hurried arranged marriage was organized in Paneli with Emmi Bai, a young cousin. Jinnah, not yet 16, consented reluctantly. It was the price of departure. The wedding followed tradition, solemn, restrained, more obligation than romance. In early January 1893, Jinnah boarded a steamer bound for England. His father watched with pride. His mother watched with sorrow and foreboding, quietly telling him she might not live to see his return. As the ship pulled away, the young man left behind a new marriage, a grieving mother, and a provincial world he had already outgrown. What he carried with him was independence, composure, and a self-imposed discipline forged long before history found him. These early years explain much about the adult Jinnah. His insistence on legal precision echoed a childhood resistance to arbitrary authority. His emotional reserve reflected a lifetime of balancing family obligation against personal ambition. His ease in elite and foreign environments grew from early exposure to plural world without surrendering identity. Even his solitude and discipline were rehearsed early, when standing apart felt more natural than blending in. Long before politics claimed him, Jinnah had learned to choose isolation over conformity, purpose over approval, and self-command over submission. In that sense, the foundations of Pakistan's future founder were laid not in legislative halls, but in Karachi's narrow lanes, Kathiawar's shrines, and a boy's refusal to live only the life others planned for him.